Hey guys, what's up? Today we're checking out the Nokia G42 5G. Has Nokia finally understood that pricing the phones correctly for the Indian market is going to be a big win for them? Let's quickly find out in this video. Now we've been playing with this phone for a while and I personally kind of like the design. A lot of people have been calling this similar to the recently launched Moto phone. There are a lot of similarities, but this phone is primarily different from that device. And in this video, we'll tackle some of the specifications and you'll understand why this phone is different. As far as the design is concerned, you'll see some similarities here, but even the camera setup on the back is completely different. Build quality wise, this phone is really robust. It's got a polycarbonate frame. It's really solid, no creaking, no bending whatsoever. So robust, typical Nokia design. You have plastic on the back, but Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. But bear in mind, the screen protector is not pre-installed. On the outside, you also see a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is rare, but also similar to the Moto device. What is also similar is the fingerprint sensor which sits in the power button. In this case, on the Nokia G42 5G, it is super fast and really responsive and really quick to open up the device. Another thing that appears similar but is different is the 6.5-inch display. This is an HD display with a 90 Hz of refresh rate. The HD part is really disappointing. I would have liked to see a full HD. I would like to see some company tackle that spec and make it more relevant for people. And you also have a fairly fat chin and a decent amount of bezels around the phone, and 2019 called and they want their water drop notch back. And I'm sure you're already complaining about that in the comment section, but the display is really good as far as vividness is concerned. It's got good amounts of brightness, good visibility indoors as well as out. Good color reproduction and good viewing angles. So despite being a low resolution display, this display is not bad, and it's also 90 Hz, so it's not 60 Hz, which is good, but it's not the 120 Hz that people are expecting. The phone runs on Android 13 and Nokia promises 2 years of software updates, so you'll go up to Android 15 if that ever comes out. The UI is basically clean, completely stock Android with little or no customizations whatsoever. So you're getting a pure Android experience more or less, and at a really budget price point as well. As far as performance is concerned, the phone is running a Qualcomm Snapdragon 480 Plus 5G, which again is a dated chip, but in our usage, we found it to perform really well. In fact, it is really stable and smooth, and we didn't notice any lag even while playing some AAA games on this device. Super smooth game playback as well. It does take a fairly long time to load up games onto your device, but once the game is loaded, you'll get a really good experience. The phone is available in two variants, one with 4 gigs, one with 6 gigs of RAM, and the storage remains the same at 128 gigabytes. But you can pop in a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte, and then you can also increase your RAM with up to 5 gigabyte of virtual RAM that is built into the OS. This phone is also great for content consumption. The speakers are fairly loud and not tinny at all. And typically, industrial level monitors have NDIR sensors, which are non-disruptive infrared sensors, and this device actually has an NDIR sensor, which is why we picked it up. We measure the readings in the office in different... The phone also supports Wildwine L1, so if you're streaming content and it's encrypted content, it'll work perfectly on this device without any issues. At this price point, you're also getting tons of 5G bands and really good connectivity on the Nokia G42 5G. So this is a test from the microphone of the Nokia G42 5G. This is what the microphone sounds like. We are recording it on the phone itself. It does have call recording built in, and yes, there is an announcement before the call recording begins. As far as network strength is concerned, indoors, even in low reception areas, the phone works well. It's got tons of 5G bands, so we are happy with that. The phone also has a 5000 mAh battery, which is 1000 milliamps less than the other phone. And this phone is also fairly hefty at 193 grams, but it's not the heaviest or the lightest phone in this price category. You also get 20 watts of charging, and the charger is included inside the box. The battery is also rated for 800 charge cycles, and it's supposed to retain more than 80% of its battery life after 800 charge cycles, but we can't really test that, so let's assume it's true. The phone is also touted for a lot of easy repairability. Overseas, you'll be able to buy parts from iFixit to get spares, so if you want a battery or certain parts for the phone, they will be sold on iFixit. In India, we're not too sure how that will work, but Nokia has a fairly strong service and support network in India. So getting parts or getting service for this phone should not be a problem. I don't know if they're going to be pushing the DIY aspect of it too much in India, but the fact that this phone is designed to be repaired quite easily is a good thing, which means that the phone will last you a long time, and also you're getting 2 years of software updates, and the phone runs Android 13 out of the box. Let's talk about cameras. We've got 3 cameras on the back, out of which only one is important. The other 2 are mostly pointless. There's a 2 megapixel macro, a 2 megapixel depth, which should not exist, but it exists. So the back looks nice. You have 3 cameras. The main camera is fairly good, and that's the one that you're going to be using. It also captures full HD video at 60 FPS, and on the front also captures full HD video. The front has an 8 megapixel front-facing camera, and here are some samples on the screen for you to check out, including video samples from both the rear as well as the front camera. So we think that the camera is fairly good for this price bracket. Macro is kind of pointless because it doesn't even focus. So don't buy this phone if you do macro photography, unless you own one of those macro lenses that can be clipped onto the main camera. Everything else on this phone seems pretty good for the price bracket, and then you're getting the reliability of the Nokia brand along with a large service and support network, which is a good thing for this device. It's built really well. It's really comfortable to hold because of the rounded edges. And the only thing is that you need to install a screen protector, keep it away from water, and everything else is fine. I would have liked to see a full HD display, but that's the only gripe that I have with this device at the outset. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash a like. We'll have a link to the phone in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.